Hey guys, just 5 minutes here, and today I'm gonna do a new series on my channel, aka 30 Facts About Horror Movies. So what I'm gonna do is separate one horror movie in an episode each time, and I'm gonna make 30 facts about it that are actually interesting. So this is my first one, and it's about one of my favorite movies of mine, Killer Klowns from Outer Space, and I hope you enjoy. Did you know the Kyoto brothers, aka the movie makers of this movie, were interviewed for the podcast Classic American Movies to talk about the making of Killer Klowns, as well as where their love of film began? Though the movie didn't really get as much credit as it should, the film has since become a cult classic and made revenues in action figures, DVDs, TV shirts, and more. Did you know the scene where the car crashes was supposed to be a lot cooler? It was supposed to go over a cliff, then crash down on the ground. Unfortunately, the sling rope snapped because the effects crew members neglected to remove the stoppers from underneath the car wheels. The result is what we see in the film. The car slowly tumbles over the edge and becomes caught on a tree. Did you know the $2 million budget went primarily on production costs? The clown and visual effects were created mostly entirely by the filmmakers at very little cost. Do you know the first day of recording the music score for Killer Klowns took place on Halloween, October 31st, 1987? Originally, Clownzilla was supposed to be made with stop motion, but due to production costs and limited time to shoot, they made a suit instead. Do you know an early version of this movie in Big Top Burger? The movie creators, the Kyoto brothers, were in a background scene sitting at a table. The performers of this background music, the Dickies, has not seen this movie prior to writing the song. Did you know when Farmer Dream Green goes in his house to find supplies, the director is barely seen giving it to him? Dialogue with the mother in the fast food restaurant does not match her mouth movements, meaning it was dubbed over by another actress during post-production. The other brothers are also my favorite Christmas movie, Elf, for the stop-motion scene. And Jesus, this takes a while.
By the long face, partner.
Did you know this movie was released in 1988, and in the credits it was released in 1987? Ooh, trippy. You know Clownzilla was played by one of the Kyoto brothers? Did you know the actors and crew were friends of the filmmakers, aka the Kyoto brothers? Do you know this whole movie is based on basic effects instead of CGI? Like in this scene when the clown spins around when he's shot, this is real. Did you know in this scene when the cop got hit with all the pies, those were real pies? Did you know this movie was just going to be called Killer Klowns, like the song? Did you know the Terenzi brothers were played by a popular comedic duo? Michael Siegel and Peter Licassi were a popular and established comedy act in LA long before they appeared as the Terenzi brothers in Killer Klowns. Did you know the main composer of this movie, John Mazzari, wrote the Killer Klowns march in high school? He was in a band called Crisis. His bandmates disliked it, saying that the music sounded too much like jazz. Fortunately, Mazzari filed away his compositions for a later date. It was to perfection during an iconic scene in this movie. John Mazzari also wrote music for the trailer to Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, a year before he began work on Killer Klowns. For some reason, the producers of Jason Lives rejected the music Mazzari sent them for the trailer. They decided to go something more clinched and predictable, much like his Clown March theme. Though Mazzari saved the music he'd written and used it for Clownzilla's entrance instead. Did you know in 2018 a very special fan event took place in Molten Band Theater? A concert screening of Killer Klowns was held, with John Mazzari and a live orchestra playing the music. The Dickies were also present in the performance of the theme song during the movie's opening credits. Did you know the Kyoto brothers' favorite part to film was the shadow puppet scene? Another ridiculous death in the film comes when the clown performs a shadow puppet show with his fingers for a group of people waiting at a bus stop. After showing a few impossibly detailed figures, the shadow then becomes a hungry dinosaur that eats the entire group whole. We tried to think of the stupidest, most impossible thing, and my brother Edward Kyoto came up with Washington. It was a really absurd thing to have happen, director Stephen Kyoto said in 2018 interview Sci-Fi, noting that the scene his favorite part of the film. Did you know in an original ending, Deputy Dave dies to save his girlfriend from evil clowns? Also named lead character Mike Tobacco must team up with his girlfriend ex, Deputy Dave Hansen, to take over the clowns and head on. Despite many deaths during the course of the movie, the film has a pretty happy ending, as Mike and Dave successfully saved Debbie from the clown's spaceship and managed to save all of their lives. If the original ending had reenacted, however, the closing moments of Killer Clowns would have been more depressing. For the most part, the final sequence is the same, culminating in the explosion of the ship. After Dave pops Clownzilla's nose, Dave perishes in the explosion. But after screening the version of the film with the test audience, the choice was made to film a more upbeat ending to the end of the movie on a more positive note. If you wanted to see Killer Clowns in real life, well, there's a Halloween Horror Nights at Universal's Killer Clowns. The wonderful people at Universal have been giving fans an opportunity to do that for the past couple of years. In 2018, the film was featured as a scare zone for the 28th annual Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando, Florida, featuring many props and references to the film along with many clowns in the flesh, of course. Because the first go-around was a hit, Universal saw that Killer Clowns landing down once again for Killer Clowns themed haunted house attractions at both Orlando and Hollywood Universal. Given what's going to be happening in 2022, it's not clear as of how now what will happen to the next Halloween Horror Nights event. But for those unable to attend 2018 and 2019, let's hope the clowns can make their way back to Universal at some point. Do you know in early 2023, the same creators of Friday the 13th the game are making a Killer Clowns game? That's going to be exciting. Did you know the now iconic theme Killer Clowns by the Dickies was written based on the title alone? The band did not have any script to work on. Did you know the line in this scene that Mike Tobacco says, "It looks like it was decorated by Clowns or Us," was voted as the worst line in the movie by a fan site? Did you know when Mike Tobacco sees Farmer Dream Green's bloody face for the first time, there's a smaller cocoon behind him which reveals Pooh, his dog that got eaten by Jumbo? Did you know in total this movie has 40 kills and one pet kill, which is Pooh? Guys, thank you for so much support on my YouTube channel. I wouldn't be here editing this much without you guys. This is probably my favorite thing I have ever done on my channel, and I'll try to continue it at least one of these or two a month. And I'll see you next time.